Hi everyone. Okay, so today I want to speak a bit about the power of Hollywood and mirrors and why it's imperative that we break free of its programming. In this first part, because I'm intending to do a few in this kind of series, these recordings are going to actually be old blog posts that I've done on my blog, which is hollyofthehazeltree.wordpress.com. Some of the material there, I don't really use the blog much at the moment. I may do in the future, but some of the material there I think is very pertinent to what's going on in the culture war. So I'll be uploading it basically to my channel as well. So in this first part, I'm going to be looking at all aspects of Hollywood, but in this first part I want to concentrate on the history and the symbolism of the Hollywood itself and why that was, or why I think that was chosen. For me, the term Hollywood does not just refer to films, music and the like, but all Western popular culture. Rather than a popular culture, this is more like a mass spell, I would say, that has been cast over us for generations now through its films, its merchandise and various other spin-offs. We've all been programmed and controlled by this, what I can only describe as a nefarious cult. Now, as a follower of the ancient European ways, it is no surprise to me that to accomplish this sleeping beauty-like feat over the West, the sacred symbols of European traditions were taken and egregiously appropriated in the process. This happens time and time again, and the Hollywood symbolism is no exception. Often, this is why it happens, often traditional European symbols are taken and used against us in the West because we resonate very, very deeply with them. These ancient symbols are encoded into our collective memory over millennia, so resonating with them is instinctive and very natural for us. Unfortunately, it means that many lies and half-truths can be presented to us wrapped up in European symbols, and because they're wrapped up in this pretty packaging basically of European symbols, we will be more inclined to believe them, as that is how strong this resonance is. An example of this is how the Christian calendar used the holy days of the European pagans they tacked their festivals onto the ones that were already celebrated by European pagans, and they did that basically to make their calendar stick better with the native population. You know, that's just a very obvious example. But in this case, the symbols of holly and the implication of evergreen are being used here. Now, these are very, very strong symbols for Europeans. To the ancient Druids, or the equivalent in any traditional European culture, the holly was and is a very sacred tree, king of the forest. Even the mighty oak couldn't surpass its great power, namely that it is able to retain its vitality and strength, its evergreenery, through the depths of winter, which is why it's so synonymous with Yule and Christmas. It represents the life of the coming year, as well as the birth of the Christ in Christianity and the hope associated with that. Holly groves were formidable places of might and potency. So, Hollywood takes its symbolism from the holly groves of yore. Holly is also a tree of magic power and creating illusion. It is supposed to spread life to the land and support it through its darkest times. However, we can see that Hollywood, as is usual with evil operations, has taken the power and energy of this European symbol. And I say that because where do holly trees grow in Southern California, really? And it's taken the power and energy of this very European symbol and inversed it or reversed it, but it means something opposite to what it truly does. The use of greenery as a symbol is also evident, and as a result it's easy to see why Hollywood is obsessed with youth and vitality and why it has been linked to paedophilia. Inevitably, it seeks a never-ending source of youth and of innocence to perpetuate itself, not just literally but figuratively. Now, in recent years, much needed attention has been focused on the literal depravity of Hollywood, yet the figurative aspect has been neglected in the process. This is also important, as this is how it enslaves most of us. Many people rely on Hollywood and popular culture as their imaginative and cultural touchstone. They rely on it to rejuvenate them. That's how potent this is. They rely on Hollywood is setting itself up as the rejuvenative power, and in that it's supplanted European traditions of old. So because it's set itself up as this rejuvenator and people will naturally resonate with that symbol, it makes it very easy for Hollywood to control and influence our imaginations. And once somebody's got control of your imagination, it's very easy to manipulate your logic, your feelings, blah blah blah. So our dreams, visions and hopes for the future are wide open for being influenced. It's an evil spell worthy of Maleficent herself, and each time we partake of it we prick our finger on the spindle again and again. So that's all I've got to say for today. In my next video I'll also be talking about Hollywood and the symbolism of the mirror. That's another one I want to talk about, because that's quite a potent symbol as well. Okay, thanks for listening. Bye.